Today's guest is an incredibly talented author who writes the kind of stories he wishes he had growing up as a teen in rural Alabama. He's the author of The Last Boyfriend's Rules for Revenge, The Rebel's Guide to Pride, and the upcoming Drop Dead Handsome. He's also a fellow Heated Rivalry fan. We are so happy to welcome Matthew Hubbard to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Obviously, we're a Heated Rivalry podcast, so we have to ask, how were you introduced to Heated Rivalry? Did you read the books first, or was the show your introduction?
So I know the book came out in 2019, and I read it that year after one of my friends was, because we had just started reading hockey romances, and my first one was Him by Serena Bowen.
That's my
And she's
fave.
like, if you love that, you have to read Game Changers and Heated Rivalry. And I was like, I don't have time. Like, I kept putting her off. And then I read it. I was like, well, I owe you an apology because this is amazing. And then I just read them as they came out and reread them often. And I just recently finished rereading the entire series, and then rewatching the show for the fourth time. So
Right. Right.
Standard, yeah. We're all rereading, I think.
I love Shane and Ilya just because they become the pillars in the entire series as it goes on. But I think I have like a bigger soft spot for Scott and Kip just because it's the very first book. And then what happens with them kind of is like the domino effect throughout the entire series. And I really loved them and getting to see their life unfold. And I wish they had another book too to show that, but like having them in the background was really sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you expect their episode in the series?
No, I didn't know that was happening, but when they teased like that episode was going to be called Scott, I was like, wait a second. And then I was like, oh, we're getting like this is like, I don't know if you've seen that TV show, The Last of Us, but there's an episode where it's just the two men and their lives together. It was giving very much that. And I was like, okay, I'm digging this. And then the episode 5, me and my husband, I was making my husband watch it with me because he's never read them. I told him he had to sit down and shut up so we could watch it. And like it started showing them winning the Stanley Cup, and I like smacked them and I was like screaming like, they're not doing this, we're doing this. And yeah, it was just so wonderful having that wrapped in. And I really need them to do one for Eric and Kyle and Troy and Harris and Ryan and Fabian. Like I need those things, or something like there's a bridge between season 2. That would be really sweet.
I did see Rachel Reed say something about how they couldn't do season 2 without Troy and Harris, so they're obviously going to have that linked in with season 2, so that's exciting.
They have to. I think Troy and Harris is up there with Scott and Kip for me, and Ilya and Shane.
Same.
Yeah, we also need like Ilya going around collecting other gay people.
Yes.
Is there a moment in the show or the books that really made it click for you how special this series was?
Okay, so I'm going to base it off the book since I was really familiar with the book. And I think that sitting down to read the book and then chapter 1 being, bam, hardcore sex scene.
Right.
Like, I was like, okay, never like saw this before. And then it flashed back to like when they were younger. And I was like, wait a second. We're getting like, we're working backwards here. Like and I was like, I've never read a book like that before, especially a romance book. I'm sure there's plenty before that, but nothing that came across my library. And it's like, this is different. And then I think whenever you start seeing Shane and Ilya falling in love, and the moment that they use each other's names, I was like, this is something deeper than what people would expect from a hockey romance. And that's when I knew it was like something was truly unique about that.
Yeah, it's so good.
And you're a hockey fan, right? So did that come before? I mean, have you been like a lifelong hockey fan?
No, actually, I would say that I fell in love with hockey because I read so many hockey romances, and I kind of like understood the game. And I was like, okay, I understand hockey now because I've read like 300 books about it.
Yeah.
And so like during 2020, I started watching some like old games online, and then I kind of fell in love. Like my brain connected the dots, except for nobody kissed like I wanted them to. But it was really
can't have it
so
all.
like I would say, reading hockey romance made me a fan of the sport.
Oh, I love that. I was watching Olympic hockey yesterday. Who would have thought I'd be here being like, this is great.
My favorite player was playing for Sweden. He's in Nashville. He's Philip Forsberg, and he was
Mm-hmm.
playing. He's from Sweden. He was playing on the Swedish team, and it was nice to see him.
I know, going from heated rivalry to the Olympics, like, feels like we're just having such a great year.
We are. It's already making up for a little bit of how crappy the year ended.
A little bit.
No, helping me get by. Let me rephrase.
Yeah.
It's not making up for anything. It's helping
Yeah.
me get by.
Yeah.
So those of us who follow you on Threads and Instagram have seen you speak about heated rivalry and a little bit about what it means to you. But for those who don't follow you on socials, what does heated rivalry mean to you?
It's so wild that people sort of associating me with like my threads, because not about my books, but about my love for heated rivalry. Which, you know what, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Clocked it. But I think hockey is known for being very homophobic, and we get that in the romance books that we read. We see that mentioned, and just like I've experienced it firsthand, like being a fan of the sport and people like telling me I shouldn't be there. And like seeing this show and seeing so many people come together and celebrate it. And then you have like, I always go back to my favorite team, the Nashville Predators, posted about their Pride Night. And all I did was comment on it on Instagram, like, thank you for making me feel like welcome. And then people started coming at me because, like, what do you mean you don't feel welcome? You can't go to a regular game. Why does it have to be a gay game? Things like that. And then this man looks like someone who would not be tolerant or an ally, commented and said, "You can direct all your hate to me. Matthew doesn't deserve this. This is a safe space for him." And he was like tackling people's like complaints. And I was like, that feeling I felt when that happened is how I felt when Heated Rivalry came out. And then it was just like blowing up everywhere. And we get to see something that is so, I'm going to say, the most manly sport, in the sense that it's, when you think of toxic masculinity, that's what I think of. I think of hockey. But we get to see the softer side of that with hockey romances. And that's what I think makes Heated Rivalry like so special to me. And what it means is I'm getting to see all the things that I wanted to see from the books that I've read. And it feels like real life. Seeing it on the screen, it makes it feel, I know it's fictionalized, but just it made it feel really real to me. Like it's a possibility.
I know you've posted about you're writing a adult hockey romance for the first time. We're excited for it. But is obviously Heated Rivalry might have inspired that, but is there any other ways Heated Rivalry has inspired you in your own life?
I will say I was working on it before the show came out, and my agent was like, when I pitched her that idea, and I was like, well, with Heated Rivalry, what if I made it more romance focused like this? And she was like, there's been hockey in every book you've written. Why haven't you done that yet? And so it was like, kind of like, oh, you're right. I never thought about that. So I sort of was like, why not? Started like leaning into all the things that I love the most as a reader, like letting myself have that permission to write about it. And it's been really fun. And on the other side of that, like how it's inspired me is, other than vocal stems, Give Me Kiss, like
So
things
many.
like that, or that I would say it. First of all, watching it was very escapism, like for so many people. But it gave me a sense of joy that I haven't felt in a while. And it was, I would say, when people were all at Twitter, like when your favorite TV show comes out and you log on to like social media and people are talking about it and you get to feel part of something because you loved it so much. I haven't felt like that in a long time with things. And then having this, it made me feel that spark of joy again, like just for queer content and queer media, and it being celebrated instead of torn apart.
Yeah. I think we spoke about on the podcast, we all kind of feel like we haven't been in a fandom like this for at least a while. And it's nice having lots of joy about something that we're all passionate about.
Yeah, and it's when you see people not being joyful about it, like I just posted about this before this, about people wanting to boycott because of Francois.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we know that will not be accepted here.
No.
Done. Like, and just everybody like, no, you're like, you can't sit with us anymore.
Exactly.
Like,
Goodbye.
I love that. I love that.
We do not tolerate
'cause
that.
you have those territorial in the positive way of like protecting these actors for who they are.
Yeah, even Jacob has said recently he's not keen on that side of the fandom, and No, we shouldn't have that included in
It's like
the
Taylor
joy that we're
Swift
feeling.
fandom.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Very
Yeah.
similar. Very similar.
Mm.
We've seen this film before.
And what's
I
Back
didn't like
night.
the ending.
Okay.
We did not like the ending.
I was like, you can't leave it there.
Sorry. We can change the ending, though. We can
Yeah.
change the ending.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of touched on it just now about this fandom bringing you joy, but what is your favorite thing about being in the fandom?
A lot of inside jokes.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
that I posted something like, we didn't even kiss, and then I was like, a quote from me leaving a bookstore without buying any books. People were like, it's a joke, I get this joke,
I
I get this
loved
joke. And I
that
was like,
thread.
yeah, we're all riding the same brainwave here. I think that's so fun because it's evolving from just like, I love Heated Rivalry, I love these actors, to like incorporating it into not memes, but like the same essence of repurposing things from the show to describe stuff, like a move, like how people use GIF reactions. It's the same thing, and that's really cool, I think.
Mm.
Agreed.
Yeah. It's like, it's fun to spot people out in the wild where you're like, are you a fan? It's like, I hear hockey or I hear Heated Rivalry, and I'm like, one of us. Have you had any moments like that out in the wilds where you've like met a fellow fan?
I haven't, but my friend has. She was at dinner and she was talking about how she had watched episode 5, but she had to stop it halfway and she didn't get to finish it. And she was telling her friend this, and the waitress was like, "Excuse me, did you just say that you didn't finish episode 5?" And it's just like, you can like sing spot people. Now I'm like, now that I have gear to wear in public, I'm like looking for people.
Yes. Yeah, you're gonna get
Yeah.
a lot of fans coming up about that shirt, I'm sure.
It's like, I'm so tempted to wear those to the Love Y'all Book Fest.
You should.
Oh,
should.
what better place to wear it?
Uh-huh.
What better place to wear it? You know you're going to get people who relate to that.
Mhm. Everyone there should know what it is.
I would
Surely.
hope so.
Jumping back to, I should say, with the long game specifically, obviously we know season 2 is coming out. We're very excited. We're still, I think, deep in season 1, and it's only 6 episodes of TV / the books exist, obviously. But is there any scene in particular from the long game you're excited to see in season 2, or you hope is going to be in season 2?
So I have been thinking about this since you were telling me about this interview, and
Mhm.
I think we saw, and it's coming off the heels of rewatching the show for the 4th time and noticing nuances that I didn't pick up on,
Mhm.
and realizing that because someone posted this on social media, and it was the cottage scene where Ilya's eating, and said this is the first time someone's cooked him dinner as a family meal, and I was like, oh, my
Oh,
heart.
ouch.
And then it made me
Ouch.
think like Ilya doesn't have he doesn't have a family, but in the long game, Shane's parents kind of bring him in, and then the whole spoilers, but you know how David talks to Ilya before the thing in the backyard at the end of the long game. I'm assuming people who are listening to this know what the book is. I don't
Yeah.
want to spoil it, but
No, go,
like,
yeah, go for it.
it's like they made him. It's like before the wedding, like they made Ilya their other son that was already established. How they just welcome him, and he had a family, and it was so precious. And I really just want to see that evolve because we know the book is heavy.
Mhm.
I've thought about a lot of scenes, but I forgot how sweet that's going to be, seeing that.
Mhm.
Agreed. I'm excited to see
I mean,
how.
there are of course other scenes, but I don't know
Yeah.
what rating this podcast is.
Oh, you can
It's
speak
18
freely.
plus.
We've talked about the trophy room.
We've heard the trophy room a few times, which honestly fair.
The drive to see him as dressed as a
Yeah.
gladiator, things like that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Someone mentioned the mirror scene the other day, and I was like, oh, I forgot about the mirror scene in the
Gosh,
gym.
yeah.
I was like, of course.
Holy
There's a
cow.
lot of good ones. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be a long wait, I feel, but
Yeah, plenty of times to rewatch.
exactly.
Unlimited amount of times to rewatch. After the popularity of Heated Rivalry, is there anything that you hope to see in the future? It could be in books, it can be in the show in general.
As a queer author and seeing firsthand how queer books are treated, from publishing houses to bookstores, like I want to see more reception to these kinds of stories because it took one person loving that story and like how Jacob slid into Rachel's DMs, like for all this to happen. And imagine if more people went for it like that and seeing the success. And I'm seeing right now like Amazon Prime's Heated Rivalry replacement. I was like, you missed the entire point of the show. It's not about hockey. I am not interested in watching a straight hockey show. But I want to see more adaptations and more things like that. More, it's proven that it's a winner. It gets streaming numbers. People are subject to it. There's more marketing and promotion and giving more people chances like that. I would love to see.
Yeah, I know a lot of adaptations sometimes use the base material more as like a concept rather than fully adapting it. And a lot of people have said, it's because it's so true to the books that, the fans of the books are loving it and then, newcomers are loving it. How do you feel about kind of like staying true to books when making an adaptation?
I think that is so crucial, and you can tell that the show and Jacob really loved the source material. He was a fan. That comes through. And I feel like, I don't know with other adaptations and stuff, I don't know how, because I don't think it's been as transparent as this has been, because it's just been taking over the world. But I feel like it took someone who connected with the essence of the story to get it right. Because of course some things changed. You have to do that. But like, I didn't notice what's changed. Like everything was hitting like how I wanted it to hit. And I think that I don't say that that's what got new fans, but like the fans of the book, I feel like that's why like blew their mind.
You've already mentioned how you were kind of inspired by Heated Rivalry in writing your first, fully hockey romance. But can you share a little bit more of like how that actually came to be? Like what specifically inspired you about that?
Well, I can't say much, but I can say How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Ooh, love. I literally rewatched that yesterday.
It's so good.
So that meets Heated Rivalry is what it was kind of like the mix that I was working on.
I love that. I love that you use cultural references to a lot of like, in my head, you're like kind of flipping a famous rom-com, so to speak. Like I've been listening to Last Boyfriend's Rule for Revenge. And I feel like you've mentioned a couple of things where they're like references, like even with like, I'm thinking about Fake Blood, I'm thinking about Carrie, and all these other references. And I love that you just referenced 10 things I hate about you. And there's no question here. It's just acknowledging that I kind of love that you're doing that and flipping them.
No, thank you. Yeah, and then Drop Dead Handsome, which is coming out this year. Miss Congeniality.
Incredible.
Yeah, love. That's it. There was no question. It was just a note. Love that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm like having such fun thinking about all of these references. I do have like a bit of a fun question, which is if Shane and Ilya existed in your upcoming books universe, what role would they play?
They do, in the sense, because if you've read my first book, they reference the first Lost Club movie, of course, because it gives them an idea. And then Drop Dead Handsome, or my second book, The Rebel's Guide to Pride, they reference The Great Gatsby, which I don't know if you know that, The Great Rebel's Guide to Pride is a retelling of The Great Gatsby, or a parallel of The Great Gatsby, but told in reverse. Drop Dead Handsome, Miss Congeniality, they make a joke about it, and he's like, what, you've never seen Miss Congeniality? Cutesy little date scene. And these two rival hockey players were falling in love, and they have to go to a Halloween party, so it makes total sense that they're dressed as Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. I mean, come on. I wrote that down that I'm going to do that because I want to make them real in this universe.
Yeah.
Whether and leave it open to interpretation. Either they're going as the characters from the book or the characters from the TV show or the real hockey players themselves. Kind of like leaving that, not getting the details, but like, I think that's special. Especially if I'm going to take something that inspires me, I want to give it its accolades and its acknowledgement in what I'm writing on. Because I feel like that's just a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the reader. Like I know you're getting this because I'm getting it too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I can't wait for people to scream about that when they read the book.
I can't wait to scream about that when I read it.
Man, and there might be a planned spicy scene while they're still in costume. As one does. As one would have to do.
I think,
Thank you in advance.
They're already dressed up. So Heated Rivalry tackles a lot of different themes. After watching or reading the books, were there any themes that you then considered, maybe exploring in your own books?
I think I've had a friend post about this and how crucial the cottage chapter was to the book and into the show. And it's strip away the content. It's a setting about nothing, but it's about everything at the same time because it's letting queer characters breathe. That is how I viewed the cottage scene. Like they're breathing, and I think in the show when that happens with like his dad, Shane's dad, and he's like, "It's a nightmare," and Ilya says, "Well, it's time to wake up then." And I was like, that kind of queer joy to where it's just queer existence unapologetically. Like I really want to focus on capturing that more than what I do, just because how powerful that felt watching it. And I always view my books as movie scenes as I'm writing chapters. Like I view each chapter as an individual movie scene and what's happening in this scene, like how crucial that was to follow the action, like letting the characters exist and feel their feelings and all that. And how the show ends with just the driving away in the sun, like that is it's nothing. It's uneventful in the most eventful way possible, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, as a reader and then also as a viewer, you feel like you can also take a breath because so many times, especially like in the third
Yeah.
act, you're like something big in a bad way is going to happen or something like that.
That's how we as romance readers are conditioned to think.
Yeah.
It's like if I can avoid writing a third act breakup, I will.
Yeah.
Right.
And we thank you for that.
And we thank you for that.
So your book Drop Dead Handsome is coming out this year. Can you tell anyone listening a little bit about what it's about?
Yeah, it is. First, it was the most fun I've had written a book to date. Because I haven't finished the hockey romance book yet, so then that will be fun. You see how it goes on, it progresses. But it's about a senior in high school who is applying for college, and he writes a submission essay about what has challenged me. And his guidance, this is like opening chapter, you hear all this. And his guidance counselor is like, "This is great. It's boring. You're a boring student. Like everyone's going to write about the same thing. Like how can you approach this at a different angle?" And of course, my character is main character Parker. He's outspoken. He is described as a wannabe Harry Styles. Like he wears like skirts, paints his nails, but like rocky and grungy. Like I think he has like a neon orange. He has a neon orange wolf cut. Like he's really cool and hip. And he's like, "How am I boring?" And he kind of takes that to heart. And he's trying to figure out I think the premise came up is he wrote about gender and how his school had these bathroom laws and how he protested them. And he's like, "That's great. You challenge someone else's challenge of gender. How can you challenge gender if that's your topic?" And he's thinking about it, and then he sees a flyer for the Miss Teen Spirit or Miss Spirit pageant at their high school, and he's like, "This anti-feminist bullcrap." And then he like starts reading the rules, and it doesn't state that you have to be female to run. It's implied, and he's like, "Well, what if I run?" And that idea came about for me because I was a pageant judge for a college, and I realized that in the rules, and I was asking every contestant what they would do if a male was running. And as you can imagine, being in the South in Alabama, is where I was doing this, like what their answers were. And I was like, I'm going to remember this, and I held it against people too as I voted. So he does that. He enters his pageant, and he realizes he's in over his head, and he has to have an escort, like a male escort, to walk out. And the really cute but nerdy student government president offers to be his escort. And of course, they fall in love along the way because the president has a crush on him. He doesn't know it because he's too out there, and he goes through all these things, and someone's trying to sabotage him to get him out of the pageant. And he has to do all these really crazy rounds and almost satirical parody of like heightened beauty pageant rules and how that world is so self-contained. And I love it so much because Parker is openly bisexual, and I have him competing against his ex-girlfriend in the pageant while he's falling in love with this male escort. It's chaotic and messy in the best way, and it's so fun.
Oh, I'm so excited.
That's so good. I need it now.
Oh, and Parker is a baker at his dad's bakery, and he agrees to help Dean learn how to bake as payment for being his escort. And as you can imagine, like a lot of flower fights and scenes in the kitchen and just being cutesy and stuff like that. I just love this book. It's my first full-on romance to where romance is the A plot the entire book. It's all about falling in love.
I'm like, it's as you explain it, it's like playing out like a
Seeing
movie
it,
in my
yeah.
head. If there's one thing readers can take from this upcoming book, what do you hope they get maybe as they read the last page?
They get to decide their worth.
Hmm.
That's what Parker learns in the story. He learns because he thought he was boring. He let other people dictate how he should feel about his life and his actions, and he was living for other people and trying to be what people wanted him to be. So, like, knowing your worth is what I would hope people would take away from it.
I love that.
And the
love
fact
that.
that there's not a third act breakup.
Yes.
Important.
And again, we thank you for that.
And again, thank you for that.
I think there's even a line. It was like, what are you going to do about Dean? It's like, well, I can't break up with him. I don't believe in third act breakups. Like, I acknowledge that because it's funny to me.
It is because I mean we're all thinking it.
Yeah, it's like you're all bracing when you hit that like 65% of a book. You kind of like hold
Yeah.
on to it really tightly, like, oh no,
Depending
what's
on-
going to ruin this moment?
I'm just curious, what are some of your favorite romance tropes to either read or write?
Enemies to lovers and marbles for lovers, because there's such a fine line between love and hate, and like it's like it's this obsession. It's like the hate is the other side of obsession, like for being infatuated with somebody. That's so fun to play with, and that's what I'm doing right now, and I love it so much. I am not a fan of second chance romances. I enjoy them, but they're just not my top. Or and Grumpy Sunshine is fun too.
Oh, I love Grumpy
And whatever
Sunshine.
the trope is to where they have to share a room and they're roommates, but there's two beds, but they're roommates. Like especially in hockey romances, like feed me. I love it so much.
Okay, so besides your books, of course, what other books would you recommend to people who maybe want to read more hockey romance after Heated Rivalry?
So I always talk about Him and Us, the Serena Bowen and L. Kennedy. I think that's the other author. It's so good. It's the book that made me fall in love with hockey romances. I love it. And Serena has this new series called Hockey Guys, and I'm currently rereading them because the fourth one comes out in March.
Cool.
They're so amazing and they're so good, and it's filling the hole that Heated Rivalry left in my heart rereading those, because it's like this interconnected world. It's just, I love it so much. I can't highly recommend those enough. My husband and I, we went to a hockey game and I took a picture of our jerseys and posted it to social media. I think I posted it to Threads. And so we're going as the people from Him. I forgot their name. Oh my God. What are their name in the books?
Wes and Jamie. Is that who you mean?
Okay, yes, yeah. I said we're going as Wes and Jamie. Like because I've read so many hockey books, they're kind of running together.
The names.
Yeah,
Are,
yeah.
I was like, we're going as Wes and Jamie for Halloween, and like
Oh.
she saw it somehow, and then she followed me, and I was like fanboying, freaking out about it. 'Cause sometimes I forget I'm an author too, like freaking out about it. And so like I am like hardcore Serena Bowen fan. I'll read anything she writes.
We have to ask because we're also Swifties here. What Taylor song or album would you use to describe Shane and Ilya's relationship? And maybe let's do one for Heated Rivalry, one for the long game. It makes it easier / harder.
The moment you said that, in my head started playing Or Secret Moments in a Crowded Room. They Have No Idea About Me and You. Dress by Taylor Swift. And I would say Reputation, because Reputation is a love album. It's hidden behind a lot of angst, but it's about the root of love, and I feel like that is Heated Rivalry. And then Folklore would be the long game, probably, because it's a little bit deeper, which was hard to read, but the payoff was worth it, because you got to see him grow. But I would definitely say Folklore. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think
Yeah.
of like all the songs in Folklore. We talked to an editor and they were like, yeah, I want to make an Ilya edit to Epiphany. And I'm like, oh,
And we were like, what?
that's messed up. Yeah.
Ouch.
Especially Tolerate It, with
Yeah.
how he's
Ugh.
going through like the internal turmoil of like wanting to be out and Shane doesn't. I just hurt my own feelings.
No, I
you
know.
just hurt all
It's
my feelings.
it's
Mhm.
no,
Oh,
it's so
gosh.
rough. It's
They
so
have no
rough. And I
mercy.
know, especially now, I think because we're missing content, people are going back and finding bricks to throw at people because, like you said, the whole thing about like, Ilya having like the first home cooked meal in a long time. People are finding little moments like that or making art. I just saw something where it was Ilya and his mom, him like as a young kid at a hockey rink, and her saying, "I know it's scary, but you're brave." I was like, yeah, Ilya's probably heard this before. Why would you do this? Like, why would you do this to
Why would
us?
you do this to me?
Yeah. So this is just going to be like rapid fire, 2 things from the show. We'll go on a list, and just first thing you think of, no trick questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ginger ale or Blue Moon over Brooklyn smoothie?
Blue Moon over Brooklyn smoothie.
The watery version or the the smoothie version?
As someone who makes smoothies for breakfast 3 or 4 times a week, they come out watery sometimes,
Like,
no matter
hey.
what you do. So I'm not going to fault
It's
anybody
like justice
for
for Kip.
Yeah, justice for Kip.
that.
Ilya's tuna melt or Shane's 8 burgers?
Shane's 8 burgers.
Shane's loon call or Ilya's Jim Woo?
Ilya's Jim Woo.
Yep, that's a good vocal stem. Hang out with Hayden or Yuna?
Yuna.
Yeah.
The devil works hard, but she works harder.
No, seriously, we all need a Yuna. Ilya's okay or Shane's really?
Ilya's okay.
Stairwell kiss or your boyfriend's here kiss?
Your boyfriend's hair kiss.
Yeah. Penthouse 1 or room 1410?
Room 1410, because there's just something nasty in the best way about the hotel rooms.
Yep. The Kingfisher or straw plus berry?
The Kingfisher.
Party with Svetlana or get dinner with Elena?
Girl. I think I would. I know that's on Elena, but I would say Elena.
All the things she said or I'll believe in anything?
Oh my God, I'll believe in anything. And I just realized that the opening of the Scott episode is the
also
intro
to that
to
song,
I'll Believe in
yeah.
Anything, and I finished playing.
Yeah.
I was like, and then when it this is a tangent, I'm so sorry,
No.
about how Elena tells him he deserves sunshine too, and then that song plays when he kisses like, give me your eyes, I need sunshine. I was like,
I will cry again.
I knew this when I watched it, but it didn't hit me as hard until just now.
Okay, between seasons, because this has been a topic, would you rather have the blooper reel or a standalone episode?
A standalone episode.
Yeah. The Canada Fleece or the banana socks?
Canada Fleece.
And then last one, sunset scene or sunrise scene?
Sunrise, because it's optimistic.
Beautiful. Beautifully said. Well, thank you so much for being here, and we're really excited for the books you have coming up, and we hope that there is a Jacob-esque person who slides into your DMs to make an adaptation. We would be so thrilled.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Pushing it. I am pushing it. Thank you. Thank you for having me too. I love talking about this book and talking to you all, and I'm just really glad to be here.
Yeah, and I mean, we did find you through Heated Rivalry, but it introduced us to your books, so that's a win-win.
Yeah, something good came out of it for me personally. Yeah. That's wonderful.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Matthew. Can you let people know where they can follow you if they aren't already?
Yes, I am on Instagram and Threads only at Matthew Hubbard altogether, and my website is MatthewHubbardWrites.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
I look forward to it.
Thank
Bye.
you.